Hello, team, and welcome to another ATP Geopolitics video co-stream with, or not a co-stream, sorry, this is just me actually, with Greg Terry from the Greg Terry Experience. If you don't know who he is, where have you been living? He is found at YouTube or at the Greg Terry Experience. Go and check him out. He is so close at the moment to 7,000 subscribers, 6,970. So, man, if you can't get to over 7,000 subscribers by the end of this video, then there's something wrong with humanity. So please go and help out his channel. And as you may well have known, he is the absolute legend at the center of the work that is being done predominantly by him, but with some ideas from Darian Gerdes, Professor Gerdes. He's saying no.
Dr. Gerdes had the idea. He's Dr. Energy.
Right.
Dr. Synergy. I have the vehicle. I'm Dr. Energy. And you are Dr.
Whatever you want me to be. I'll be Dr. Tagging on behind.
And Warthog has jumped on board now. Next week, I'm going to be in Ukraine. I'm going to be hooking up with Operator Starsky. Rick, the Ukrainian's on board. It's not me. We're coming together supporting the truth. And the world's discovering now the pathway that we have and what we do. And we couldn't do it without you, Jonathan. So thank you.
Well, I mean, that's very kind of you, but you could, and you were doing such a good job. And hopefully by me coming on board, there's just a little bit extra to add. And I really enjoyed that conversation we had the other night, the live stream we did. And I personally sent you over some money, a lot of that from my peeps that have secured a good couple of drones, a big one and a little one. And there's no doubt going to be more to come. Hopefully my audience has been able to support your project here. For those who missed that previous one, and without wanting to go over old ground again, could you just give a quick synopsis of what it is that you are doing?
So
or we are doing, or whatever.
What we're doing, in a nutshell, we are supporting Ukraine. And if we do not assist in supporting the soldiers right now, there is going to be no Ukraine. Now, we stand with Ukraine until victory. I'm getting ready to leave Tuesday. And for the third run, I've already been on the front line for 5 months. I'm going to do another 3-month tour. And every day there will be live streams, broadcast, where the world that's coming together now can see the love, the care, the morality, the humanity that they're spreading into Ukraine through the ability we have to get to the front for the soldiers, also the civilians that are trapped there, and the civilians that are being killed every day. Don't listen to what your news tells you. Every day. Now, Dr. Gerdes had this great idea. For Christmas, and I'm going to show your people right now. For Christmas, Greg, he just called me and says, man, let's do a Christmas gift. You're leaving to go to Ukraine. Why can't the world get behind it and help supply tourniquets, chest seals? Can you find out from the military the most important things needed? Of course I can. No problem. What's the most important? Tourniquets, chest seals, balaclavas, thermals, woobies, which are military blankets that they use in the trenches, socks, trauma kits. That's it. And each of those things actually, whether it's a tourniquet or a chest seal or emergency blanket, they're not only used for the military, but guys, when civilians are hit, and I've been there, the military guy will take off his tourniquet to save a civilian's life. They're using their own gear to save people that have been wounded. So little did we know that this would explode. So as of yesterday, 4 p.m. Eastern, that would be 9 p.m. UK time, we get our numbers updated every day at 4 p.m. In 4 days, I'm going to share you this screen. In 4 days, this global effort has purchased Z-fold gauze, balaclavas, quick cutting gauze, Meditac trauma kits, trauma shears, we sold them out, woobies, ponchos, the real stuff, Swiss emergency blankets, tactical winter gloves, thermals, multiple brands of tourniquets and chest seals and military socks and rapid Z-fold gauze. But the bottom line is right here. In 4 days, and that I'll get another report in 6 hours, $57,829.82 of those supplies have been purchased. Cash donations, this has been updated by our staff. Cash donations at $29,162.56, of which you're a part of. Cash donations via PayPal, $3,129. It's going to be a lot of drones purchased in that. So we're at $32,000 in cash, $57,000 plus in supplies for a grand total of $90,122. It'll push way on up by 4 o'clock. It's mind blowing. So let me answer the other question real quick, and then I'll be quiet. I'm leaving January the 2nd, and I'm going directly to Ukraine, and I'll be there January, February, March. I am taking some bags with me, but you guys are well aware that I cannot put $57,829.82 worth of supplies into my suitcase. But I'm taking as much as I can.
Bag.
I need a plane. I need an airplane. So I'm taking as much as I can, which is the most important, which are real tourniquets and chest seals. It is the number one need on the front. With that said, we are pushing this campaign, and with Dr. Gertis and all of you guys here, until January the 2nd. So there is a window. We just dropped that date because basically it's like a week, and it's also the day I'm leaving. And of course, the links will stay there in the descriptions of all the videos and lives I'll be doing from Ukraine, and we'll be doing co-streams from Ukraine, and I'm gonna get Johnny some interviews from the front, all these things. The links will stay in the description, but you're not going to hear us aggressively pushing because, I mean, we don't want to overwhelm people. The links will be there. The giving links will be there. But who knows? Maybe 6 weeks into the project, we do another 3-day push together with results. Because once I get there, I want to be able to show you your love in action and your care in action. So that's the game plan. The $1 million question. Okay, man, you've got all that stuff shipping to Pennsylvania. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. How are you getting it to Ukraine? Great question. On an airplane. Well, how? We work, and we already have been working for the entire war with a company called Meast out of New Jersey. So our team here in Western Pennsylvania, once we get to about January 5, 6, and we feel that all the majority of the Amazon has come in for the first shipment, they will crate it, truck it directly to Meast, where we already have an account. Meast is a Ukrainian company that gives unbelievable discounts to us for air shipping. No ships here. And in 7 days, we will have the product in Ukraine. It takes 7 days to get to Lviv. Now, it goes through Poland. Well, the border's closed. No, the border is open. But I promise you, 26 years working there, we have a great team. If that border closes, we will get a truck. Well, we'll need a truck anyway. And we will go through Romania. We will go through Moldova. We will go through Slovakia. We will get your love into Ukraine. Don't worry about that. And then you're going to watch it distributed. That's the plan.
Absolutely. And it sounds really good. And my goodness, what a difference a week makes. Considering, I mean, you must have been the busiest man this side of, I don't know where.
Well, I haven't even started packing yet.
Yeah.
That's a problem, to be honest. It's so complicated to pack when you're going there. But all of my military gear, all of my body armor, all the stuff that we run, that's all there waiting on me, but there's still a lot of, you know, the
You'd be
streaming
like, how do I
side.
fit my underpants between these tourniquets? Like, what is going on here?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
By the way, you have that file now, Johnny. I'm 100% uploaded.
Yeah. No, it's ready to go. It's an 8-minute 51 video. What do you want to show?
I think, and maybe you can ask, or it's your channel, you can do whatever you want. But our work has been suppressed and from the get-go, and maybe it's because I was in Ukraine so much, I don't know, but now it's getting traction. But to be honest, nobody knows what we actually do, and this is how it started. So this will give your guys confidence that we really are on the front. We really are dropping the aid. So here, if you're scrubbing through it, that's how we started. We would load up a pickup truck, have some camo nets, some food. We take it. I'm sitting there with a commander on the front line in the very east, Kupiansk, Liman direction. We were embedded with them. Now we're playing with his weapon of his that's not his military weapon. That's his commander weapon. He walks around with that PPS, letting they know he's a commander. So we're talking, giving thanks, and I commit to him. So you don't have to show that. That's what that's about. But I really think it would be nice for them to see the aid drop. So keep scrubbing. So I'm just talking to the commander. I just want your guys to know that
looks like a bit of shrapnel through the side
yeah,
of the vehicle.
we get smashed quite a bit. No problem.
No food. Air job here.
I'll just turn it off for the time being.
Mm-hmm. Just keep going. I'm just showing. Now, start it here. Right here.
Okay.
This one means completely cut off.
Village is completely cut off.
No water. No power. And there will be none. We're extremely close. There's very active sounds all around us. We're following some military guys.
Outgoing.
Добрый. Да.
This lady just walks out while we're doing this. This village completely cut off from aid.
Быстро.
And go quickly. You boys shouldn't be here. You boys shouldn't be here. Hey, we
помогаем очень быстро.
We're gonna help you quickly. This is how we started. Those are bags of food.
Все хорошо.
Everything's okay.
День добрый.
Good afternoon.
Сюда.
Oh, just put it here in the courtyard. Thank you.
Мы вас любим.
We love you so much.
Я из Америки.
I'm from America.
И я хочу, чтобы ты знала, мы очень вас
We love
любим.
you and we stand with
И
you
мы стоим вместе.
until
Хорошо?
the end.
Мы слышали.
We hear,
Oh, Lord, we just thank you for touching her.
I give her a big hug.
Все будет хорошо.
Everything's gonna be okay.
Все будет хорошо. Пищу, помочь,
We have
любовь.
food, we have other help, we have
Всё.
love, whatever you need.
Иди сюда, собачка.
Listen.
Хорошо.
Okay, let me go quickly.
И у меня будет просьба, с кем вы общались, и потом...
We're gonna give you everything we got.
Окей? Понял?
By the way, we're all speaking Russian, not one drip of Ukrainian.
Сколько лет тебе?
How old are you?
68.
68. 68 years old. Очень crazy время.
This
Crazy.
is a crazy
Уникальное
time,
время.
isn't it?
No.
But
Победы будет. Перемога.
we're gonna win
Победа,
this.
да?
You hang on.
100%. Мы ждем, да?
We're waiting for the victory. And we're here. We're not leaving. It's our
Да,
home.
мы-
Thank you for coming to help.
Бог с нами.
We're waiting.
Бог с нами.
Oh,
Все
you hear
хорошо.
that? We hear that
Что мы сделаем?
nonstop. It's horrible.
Мы
Мы такое переносим.
All
тут,
these
такие
shots every day. We endure these things.
все хорошо.
It's okay. No problem.
What strong ladies. Holy moly.
That's the house beside where we drop the aid.
Очень сложно, да.
Very difficult here, yeah.
Мы были каждый фронт.
We go to all the front
Два
lines,
дня назад мы были в
and all
Херсон.
the front lines are just like
И
this. And 2 days ago, we were just in
тоже,
Kherson, and it's just like that.
Это место одинаково, как вы.
This. Everything's the same on the front. You're not alone.
Каждый на фронте.
All the front needs our help.
Все хорошо. Все хорошо.
Everything's okay. It's normal. This is normal.
Хорошо, Тань, хорошо.
Каждый человек нужен помочь. Все.
Thank you. Thank you.
Окей. Божий благослови.
God bless you. Good luck
Да,
to you
дякую.
guys. Thank you. Thank
Мы
you.
будем обратно.
We will be back.
Слава Богу. Слава
Glory to
Украина.
God. Glory to Ukraine.
Слава Украине.
И героям слава.
Героям слава.
Heroim Slava. Heroes. Glory to the heroes.
Мы не забыты. Мы
You are
будем
not
обратно.
forgotten, and we will come back.
Крутая.
You're an awesome lady.
Стараемся.
Well, I'm trying.
Стараемся.
I'm trying to be an awesome lady.
Галина, это у нас какой...
So we're getting their information.
Има.
We would come back. Listen to this.
Рай,
Городок.
рай городок. О,
Yeah, that's a
This
cruise
lady even
missile.
knows what's
She just
flying in the
pointed
air.
at it.
Уба, слава. Мы будем обратно.
We'll be back.
Мы будем обратно.
Come
Пока-пока.
back, please. Bye-bye.
Да, пока-пока.
Goodbye, goodbye. There you got it, Johnny.
Right.
Every
Fascinating
day.
stuff there. Yeah, and that gives you a really great insight into the work you guys do and the conditions people live under that live anywhere near the front line. Someone was saying in the live chat that it's always the older ones who are left behind, and actually this is a really common theme to elaborate on, that quite often in the frontline areas that are most affected by the war, it is indeed the most vulnerable who are left behind. So if you've got money and if you've got contacts and connections outside of where you live, you will leave and you will go and draw on those connections. You will draw on the money that you have saved. If you have money and health and the mental acuity to go out, the mental health to go out and restart your life somewhere else, you will do that. And so what happens to people who are left behind are the most vulnerable, the elderly who are physically unable to do so, the people with poor mental health or cognitive issues to do with learning difficulties or whatever. You have people who have no friends, connections, family left. The most troubled in society will be the ones left in those frontline areas, and therefore when you go to these places, it is most often those are the sorts of people that you find left, to one degree or another, and so that is fairly common.
I can give an insight on that as well. It's hard to comprehend unless you've experienced it. So I use this phrase a lot in Ukraine, and you will hear it for those of you that watch our updates. Some of this can't be explained. It can only be experienced. So a lot of these people that have stayed on the front, they're not suicidal. They're not wanting to be stupid or ignorant. They feel that they're fighting for their homeland. They feel that they are holding on to their territory. They were born in that home. Generations, it is their dirt, and they will do whatever they can to hold on to it. So psychologically, mentally, for us on the outside, it's maybe a little difficult to comprehend, but there is a feeling on those frontline areas that you really do want to stay and fight. So I know it's a challenging situation.
Can I just add to that? So great, Mr. Squiggle here says these people probably grew up in the Soviet Union. They only knew know only one home. They may not know anyone to go to, then to move. Some have vulnerable relatives or neighbors they care for. And someone asked this question, which I think is a good question, but there are answers to this. So, Mrs. Squiggle, I guess what I don't understand, says Greg Watkins, is why Ukraine doesn't provide a place for them to go, or maybe they do and it just never gets mentioned. They do, they have, there has been that. I mean, sorry, Greg will be able to add much more knowledge.
Oh, I can answer that very easily.
But as far as I understand it, they have provided an awful lot, but it is also not easy in a war to give that provision. There's all sorts of internally displaced people. There's a lot of money that's gone towards that, but it is incredibly costly. And also just people still won't want to go there for all the reasons that Greg's just mentioned and for what Mr. Squirrel said as well. But anyway, Greg,
let me tell you this, Johnny. So I'm going to answer that question, but okay, how about we go live? Listen, I'm live streaming with Johnny. This is Zhenya from Ukraine.
Hi, Zhenya.
Hello. Hello from Ukraine.
Hello from Ukraine. Excellent.
Okay.
Listen, I'm on a live stream. Is it important?
Okay, it's okay.
All right,
Bye.
in a little bit. So, all of you here, that's the president of our nonprofit and a partner there in Ukraine. We work together.
That's the guy you just saw in the
video.
That's the guy you saw in the video with the phone in his hand. But yeah, carry on.
That's the guy who was on stream with you a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
All right. So let me answer the refugee / Ukraine providing platforms. Ukraine has and does or is currently doing that as well. And there are multiple humanitarian organizations such as ours, but this information is suppressed, guys, like crazy. I cannot stress to you enough the scope of the propaganda war. Ukraine is providing this. Governmentally, we have evacuation buses. We have systems of transport. We have a minister who is responsible governmentally for making sure that those that need help leaving their front do it safely. There are rescue teams. We do it ourselves. And in fact, here is our organization. We have our own refugee center called Shelter. We've processed over 3,000 people from the front lines. Nobody knows about it. It's all suppressed. But yes, that is there 100% and working. And I will show it to you in Ukraine when I get there. So it's working. It's just, it can't be explained. It can only be experienced. They're fighting for their survival. And the comment about the Soviet era, you're absolutely right. So that village, we're the first ones in there to give aid. It's cut off. It was way up, real close on the east. And we have been back 3 times. And I will be back very early in January getting there. You'll see those same grannies again in those village. That village had 700 people. It ended up with 30 people, and they were cut off. We got aid to them only with military escort. So that redheaded lady, she's brilliant. She's actually the mayor of that village. And she says, I'm not leaving my town. I'm responsible for every soul here. I'm the elected mayor, and I will not leave my people. That's why she stayed. She could have left. She has resources and family, but she's committed to her town, and we support her massively. I had another video where I have her speaking, and she drops the truth bomb on this war in the Russian language. It's on my live from last night. If you want to go see that, you could. It may be out of the thousands of hours of video I have personally, directly from the front, the best 3 minutes of anything I ever filmed. Period. She's brilliant. It's last night's. Go to live. Yep, right there, 674. Go to the end of that. You'll see the granny talking. Unbelievable. Her truth bomb.
I just want to mention this. So I did a video sometime back with people who are doing very similar sort of stuff to you, and that was with Pierre. Where is it? So live chat with, where are they? I can't find it. Anyway, with Pierre Dupont and Anton from base.ua,
Okay.
who do really amazing stuff inside. Here it is. This one here, inside Ukraine. And that
Switch your desktop there. Switch your. I still
Oh,
see my
sorry.
channel.
I thought I had pressed it. Sorry. It's this one here. So in my live chats, if you press the live tab and then go down and watch, it's still relevant now. It's a great interview with Anton and Pierre Dupont. Pierre Dupont is a great supporter of the channel, and he often drops into chats when he can, but he's often in Ukraine and doing that work that's very similar to what Greg does. And base UA, they were telling me, Anton was telling me, as a guy that's in charge of that charity, was saying that we go, you know, Bakhmut and all these kind of places that have been under the kosh, and we would go when it was still sort of being fought over. We'd go to these frontline places, and I think he gave an example of Bakhmut where they went somewhere, and what their job was trying to help people to evacuate from places, and it's talking about this idea that it's the most vulnerable left. And they went to eventually convince this woman to leave with her family. And I think what happened is that woman then left, because it's not just about going and picking up people, it's going and having psychological kind of trauma, discussions of trauma, about doing this kind of psychotherapy on the fly with people and convincing them over time. It may take weeks of you going back and back, such that they then agree to leave that place and set up a life. It's not easy to leave where you've lived all your life, set up somewhere, set up shop somewhere on the other side of the country with people you don't know, right? So they eventually, I think they convinced this woman, and then she got in a train, I think, and then the train was bombed, and so she then went back to Bakhmut, and then convinced. And then a month later, she got in a car with her children, and then the car was hit by artillery fire, and she lost at least one of her children. And so she went back to Bakhmut, and then she was there left going, I'm not leaving Bakhmut, because every time I've left, this has happened, and I'm just safer in a basement. And so the situation was, she's like, I've done the calculation, I'm safer living in a basement than trying to leave. And for that offered her more hope and more safety and whatever. Well, so this is really, really difficult.
There's a couple of things there. So if she was Bakhmut area, then she was probably referring to the Kramatorsk train station strike that killed so many people back early in the war. That would make complete sense.
I don't know whether it's that, or whether she was actually very much more locally.
She wouldn't take a train out of Bakhmut. She would go to Kramatorsk. It was the only station that was open to allow transport at all. It's the only one they could secure, and then it got ripped. But because I mean we're right there. We have a apartment in Kramatorsk. So, but there's another piece that we have to think about, since the discussion went this way, to help people understand. Many, if not most, people on front lines are functioning with post-traumatic stress disorder, or whatever the technical names are, but it's not post, it's constant stress, constant trauma. And that's a great example you gave, Johnny. They're traumatized. They trust their basement. They trust their basement.
Yeah, absolutely. And so really what has happened, and someone here, John, saying thanks for the live last night, Greg. It's great. Hats off to you, your team, and those lovely ladies.
Thank you, John.
Fantastic. So really what this particular stream is about is nothing more than saying, do you know what? Well done, guys. What a fantastic effort from all of these channels and all of you good people who have come together, and as Greg showed you, raised an awful lot of money in a pretty short time period.
Well, if I'll give you this, Johnny, and make you feel good and let everybody know. Another $1,000 donation just came in.
That's absolutely phenomenal.
You know, so probably Dr. Gertis and I had in our back of our minds, okay, maybe we'll raise $5,000-$10,000 in support. Yeah. We're going to push through 100,000. It may happen today, but definitely before I leave. And it's just shocking. Shocking.
Yeah, in a very, very positive way, and that's fantastic. And you know what's great is that those. I mean, I've presented some names, sorry, that helped raise drone money, and so maybe there'll be some names written on drones. I don't know, but certainly ATP Geopolitics will have some drone representation out
Johnny,
there. So that's fantastic.
everything. Listen, one thing you guys can trust, and you know, you what's that old saying? Trust but verify. You're gonna get verified here in about a week. Additionally, that's why last night I took the time to show some video of what we actually do, because people that have joined us are giving by blind faith, and you need to see it. You can see my face there, 55 pounds heavier. Now I'm ripped and ready, but
Well, I
it's
think what's
going to
great is
happen.
what's great is this isn't blind faith, though. This is actually, you know, I'm going to call you out now, because actually what we've seen is some really good evidence. You've shown your transparency. You've given all the links that you need for people to go and verify the claims that you're making. You've got a great array of video evidence to suggest what you, well, not suggest, to prove what you have been doing to date. So you've got form. I don't think there's any blind faith here. I think we've got confidence in your good nature.
I
and
really
the work
appreciate that.
you've done. So
I appreciate that, but it will make me feel good to have people experience real time. You know, it's one thing to validate what we do, to check a legality number. That's great. But when somebody has given $300, 301 to buy a drone, and then they literally see it delivered, it's going to rock their world in such a wonderful way. And I'm very excited to just be a part of that, to be your hands and your feet going where most can't go. So that's going to happen. And we're just so grateful. Well, there's nothing else we can say. It's unbelievable.
I've got a question. So a lot of people don't have, say, $300 or $600 to spare for like a 7-inch or 10-inch drone, and so what happened is I had a bunch of names that we put forward to contributed like a large amount to these drones, and hopefully those names will go somewhere. But you know, whatever. But if people say have $20 or $50 or $10 or whatever, and they want to put that towards drones, and I know we answered this last time, what's the best thing that they can do in order to make sure that goes to the drone? So
if you give via our PayPal link, which comes to our nonprofit, you can actually put a note on it, a comment, help with drones. Now on our other donation site, you just make the donation and it goes into the Ukraine fund. So what we've asked people to do there is, I'll answer your partial question, but if people buy a full drone, for example, instead of 300 or 600, please make it 301. We have record of your name. We have a spreadsheet. I have every email. I have every name that is given. And when I get on the airplane Tuesday night, I will physically have a bundle of papers with everybody's name that is given, and we're going to make sure that those that have put their names there, or those that have participated partial, we're going to say from the world, whatever, it's going to happen. So we're doing everything that we can do to take all the information with us.
So essentially this is a kind of celebratory video, this live stream, and we'll kind of meander to a close now, but it's just to say that you guys have done a phenomenal job in fundraising for Greg. Greg's done a phenomenal job in basically facilitating being this thing and being a conduit through which we can express our support for Ukraine, and that's absolutely brilliant. It's incredibly transparent, and the work will be evidenced, and we'll get to feel good about that by seeing the good that does. And that's just really fantastic, and that it's going to be $100,000
it's going to be
pretty short time period. So that is absolutely fantastic. So everyone, you have full right to give yourselves a clap on the back. And even if you are unable to donate to this monetarily, by just watching what we're doing, by spreading the word, by liking videos, stuff like that, I think it's super important, especially in the face of these torrents of Russian trolls that
Absolutely.
we are at the moment. I am experiencing on my threads, but I think all of the pro-Ukrainian information sources are complaining about this, there being a huge uptick in Russian troll activity. And in light of that, things like very simple sharing, liking, subscribing, all that kind of YouTube stuff is actually quite important for helping to get the message out there.
So for the first time last night, and this is, so you say, okay, well, I can give $5. I can give $10. Great. Thank you. Or, I can't give for a month from now, but I'm going to donate. And I've received those messages. I'm on a fixed income. My next check comes at the end of January, and I'm going to help as I believe in you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But the greatest help, and I'm not building anything, zero. I'm just trying to stand for a country that I've worked in for 26 years, and my friends and whom I consider to be my personal family members are being killed. And I'm not going to stand for it. I'm going to do what I can do. This is the only way the war is going to be won, when humanity stands up together. This is how we're going to win it. So I didn't understand the power of this really until last night, to be honest. But when Johnny says, just go subscribe, or just hit the like button, or write a comment says, hi, hello, support you, anything. There is extreme power in that, because last night a guy got into my chat live, and we've went from averaging like 30 to 40, because that's all the people I really had, 50 maybe on a good night live. And last night I was running 170 for a live stream, and that tells you the growth. But for the first time, I had somebody message and say, I have no idea who you are, but your video was just suggested for me. So I clicked it. That's the first time I've ever had somebody say your channel was suggested, because I've been heavily suppressed, I think, due to doing all the live work I did inside Ukraine and, having.
I just don't understand what it is because I feel that my channel has been really heavily suppressed for a long time. I was banned for a week last year in an episode that was really unsavory and left me really frustrated with a lack of clarity and transparency in what in what YouTube does and why it does what it does. But if you're going to, first of all, please subscribe to Greg Terry Experience. There's only
you moved it to 0.8. We're going to 7
people. Come on, guys. There's 140 of you watching. Just 15 of you go and subscribe to him. Gee whiz.
Thank you.
But when you do subscribe to any of us, on the subscribe bell, it will automatically put you into personalized, right?
Yes.
And so actually what you want to do is have the all hit, and that will actually allow you to receive all the notifications you need. So it defaults to personalized. Make sure you click on all, and that's for all of us, but all of us pro-Ukrainian bloggers or vloggers, please do that. So subscribe, press all, and that will help. And for goodness sake, get Greg to over 7,000. It's not hard.
And just for the next 3 months, starting Tuesday night when I get out of here, I'm going to show you the reality. Some videos will be edited and uploaded. You need to make sure, you're subscribed to the bell on, so you'll get the note when they drop. Others will be live. They'll be live in Khmelnytsky. They'll be live in Kyiv. If I'm live on the front lines, which will happen, but please, all you guys out there that are military guys, locations will never be given. And we've already got a couple of lives set up with the Ukrainian commanders' blessing, request, and desire for us to do it, to help tell the world. So everything is as secure as possible. I will never, be videoing anything live that would ever risk any Ukrainian military or civilian, but you're going to experience it up close and personal.
Yeah. And that's fantastic. And I look forward to seeing your content as it comes out. And just remember, of course, that you can also be unsubscribed to people. I've had people complaining. I've had people unsubscribe to me. It's up to 0.99 now, almost to 7,000. Come on, guys, just do us a favor. And then I can leave. And then, not that I want to go, but I did say we got to do that by the end.
I haven't started packing yet.
Well, look, all the very best to you. I mean, we'll be speaking personally before then.
Johnny, we'll be live. We're going to be updating you, everything. You're going to see it all, man.
Fantastic. Well, massive appreciation to Greg and what he's doing. He, as I say, he's a conduit here. And thank you to you guys for raising so much money.
We need three. We need three.
Just 3 more subscribers.
I'm watching it real time.
And then, so just that amount of money that's been raised by, the people here, the people at Greg's own audience, and Dr. Gerdes as well, of course, and hopefully Warthog made a really big impact too. So
he did.
That's
and
fabulous.
And Warthog and I were talking after that, because we all helped to get Warthog back on YouTube. Everybody pitched in. But we were talking personally, and he really wants to do some type of co-stream with a soldier. I said, man, I helped you. You helped me. I'll help you. So look for that. Additionally, it could be as soon as when I arrive. So late next week, although I'm supposed to go directly to the Kherson front lines, Mykolaiv front lines. We're doing an event for Christmas for children whom have lost their parents that were military soldiers or civilians that were killed. These are orphans, refugees, and we right now have over 1,000 kids we're going to be doing a program for right on the front. And I know that sounds crazy, but we just try to explain it to you guys. Not everybody's left. There's a lot of people in Ukraine. But
I was just going to say, final question for you, really. And by the way, just while we're at it, 7,000 subscribers, so I can leave this video.
Yes, we now. I can go pack with a smile.
So JR has suggested this, but have you two considered contacting media to gain momentum there and raise consciousness about Ukraine? And I guess
so let me address that. First of all, I'm connected with Andrew Kimmel, and he will help me once I get back in Ukraine. You say, well, that doesn't sound like a Ukrainian name. It's not. It's an American. He's an executive producer for Shark Tank and what's that other one where they date the people? Bachelor and Bachelorette in Hollywood.
I was going to say that, but I didn't want to show my knowledge of crap TV.
He ran the front lines with me for about 8 days, because when he's not filming or executive producing there in Hollywood, he's a humanitarian, and he goes all around the world to help projects. And he was helping Ukraine. He was stuck in Kyiv because he had no access to get anywhere. And then he was very disgusted because he saw all these journalists from around the world staying at the Intercontinental, putting the green screen up and pretending they were in Bakhmut. And he goes, I'm sick of this. This is trash. I want to help. He reached out to me. I didn't believe he was real. I thought it was somebody who was trying to hack me. I had my SBU guys check him out. They said, no, he's legit. He crossed this border at this time. He's really who he says he is. So I messaged him back. I said, send me your passport. He did. I said, all right, we're done. Get on a train, come to me. I'll take you to the front lines. It started a glorious relationship, and he's doing biographies. I took him to a 101-year-old former Soviet soldier who fought in Stalingrad by walking to the battle and then was transported to Manchuria. He remembers everything. He's brilliant. Did a full documentary on him as this SSSR, USSR, Soviet Union soldier fighting in Stalingrad says, we need to win this war. We're Ukraine. We're Ukraine. Incredible interview. And we have all of that. So we're connected with Andrew. Additionally, I have full press credentials right there. But this is not journalist credentials. This is military. You see in the upper right, journalist credentials. Armed Forces of Ukraine has given this to me. So this is gold, guys. Additionally, right here, for example, stuff like this, I need to cover the number. Who's that? Well, that's just the mayor of Khmelnytsky, Ukraine, who we partner with. We're connected, and you're going to see it.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah, man.
Well, just before we go, John Panciotti, thank you. Keep up the fight, guys. Absolutely. It's not just about fighting in the trenches. It's about fighting in the information spaces and succeeding in getting humanitarian aid and even military equipment or medical equipment and drones to the front line. And that's what you guys are helping with. Mark Bizq, as ever, my friend over in Canada, Ukrainian Canadian. Meest has offices everywhere, here in Calgary too. We use it often to send packages to Olena's family. So that's his Ukrainian wife's family. They are amazing. You two gentlemen are amazing. Well, thank you very much. Thank you both for fighting for Ukraine. Please split this donation. And yeah, no doubt there'll be
Johnny always does that, no problem.
Yeah, that it'll find its way to
but
to the cause.
Once again, the global community there, if you put that chat back up, Meest. See, it just makes me feel good when I see Mark write a message that says, hey, we use Meest all the time out of Canada. It's directly connected with Ukraine. It's seamless. That's what we're using. Yeah. So thank you for that. I appreciate that comment a lot.
Yeah, and very much for your support as well, Mark. You're such a staunch supporter of the channel. And go and check out the live with Mark and Olena that I did some time back. Always great to chat with people on the channel and who are helping out so much as well. So thank you, Greg.
Hold on.
Yep, go for it, mate.
There's one last one. Put that comment up. Just me, hello. It's right there near the bottom.
I don't have one.
It's just me hello. Is that a picture of Barney?
Oh, just me hello. Sorry, I was looking for the words. Just me hello. Yeah.
Listen, that's a picture of Barney Fife back there. Okay, I've got to answer this. Barney Fife is my hero. I love American classic television. He was a deputy in rural North Carolina, and he was a bumbling fool, but an incredible character. So yes, that's Barney Fife. And do you even sleep, Greg? No, I do not sleep. No.
By the way, Greg, this is Pierre Dupont, who I was talking to you about, that's we're helping with base.ua. He says, great work, the great results. Well done, you two, and to all of your generous viewers. Check out our new children's center. So they've got a children's center in Kramatorsk, and check it out someday. It's called Terracon. Pierre, it'd be great. I don't know if it'd be of any use to put you in touch with. So Pierre's a guy that's been asking me to go out to Ukraine, right, before you were asking me, Greg. And
is
he was
Pierre
like,
in Ukraine?
I don't know if he's there at the moment. He's been in and out. I think he's there at the moment. He can possibly let us know in a live chat. But he does a lot of work around Kramatorsk. They help out. They've got a children's art center or kind of therapy center. They've got one on the other side, I think, on Western Ukraine, where they can send children to kind of go and rehabilitate. They do a lot of taking stuff to the front line, just like yourselves. So I don't know if there's kind of any work that you guys can do together. I don't know whether that's useful or not. But
okay, so Pierre, here's what I'll tell you. I have an apartment that we stay at when we're on the east in Kramatorsk. So know Kramatorsk very well. Once I get into Ukraine, you'll be seeing the videos. And if you haven't subscribed, you can go keep pushing it. So, but please go to my website, send me an email, contact me, and we will connect in Kramatorsk. I would visit your site there. We're all about that. What I consider the golden ring that Ukraine must hold on to. Slavyansk, Kramatorsk, Drushkivka, and Konstantinivka. that all supports that Chasivyar-Ivanivsky road coming in.
Yeah.
We must hold that.
Yeah,
So
true.
we're there all the time.
So he's back in France. He's a British-French guy.
Cool.
He's back in France at the moment, but he'll be I'm sure he'll be out there while you're out there. So it'll be great if you guys can hook up, and I'd love to hear about that. So fantastic. Look, guys, there's still plenty of time to continue giving aid if you haven't yet done so, and you have the wherewithal. Obviously, if you can't afford to, if you know. Then you can help in other ways, such as just spreading the word and whatnot. Not everyone is in the same fortuitous position as others. So do whatever you can, but fight the good fight for the goodness of the world. It sounds far too overblown, but actually I think it's that serious, this conflict. And I think this is at a point in time that I think people look back in history and say, yeah, actually that was an inflection point. That's a really important point in 21st century history, and I'd like it to go one way rather than the other.
Well, we look now back, and I know you've got to go and I've got to go, but we now look back at the late 20s in the decade of the 30s, what Hitler and Nazi Germany was doing, and now we look back and go, didn't pay enough attention to that, and look what happened in the 40s.
Yeah, exactly.
Pierre, let's look forward to seeing you both in Kramatorsk. Oh, he dropped the you both.
I know he did. Like, man, if I was fit and healthy, I wouldn't be a YouTuber, to be honest. I'd still be teaching. But I am not fit and healthy, and it's such a challenge. And going away from my kids, but God damn it, I really want to. So I've got to make this happen somehow, especially because now you've publicly called me out, both of you, several times. So
Listen, I understand the situation. But all I'll tell you is this one more time. If you decide to come, we'll take care of you.
Damn, you can't just emotionally do that to me, Greg. Right, okay.
I'm just telling you, we'll take care of you.
Yeah.
We will make sure you're body armored up.
No doubt.
We'll make sure you're in safe vehicles, and we'll take care of you.
Yes.
Right.
Okie dokie. Well, look, thank you to everyone. Take care. I don't know what I've got 2 videos still. I've got this whole thing on the 2 nights ago big wave attack, and I've got my mapping update to do. JR's done my mapping for me because he's a legend. So I might just do another live in about 10 minutes where I'm just doing all of that. So if anyone's bored enough that they want to join me for that live, come along. But thank you so much to Greg. You take care, buddy.
Johnny, just last thing. There was a really good question in there, and I need to go as well. But Greg, is there anyone on the Ukrainian side that's an inspirational commander that rallies the troops? I feel like Russia had that with Prigozhin. Are these types of leaders on the battlefield important? So, first of all, with Prigozhin, he wasn't a rallier. He was a thug criminal that basically was trying to become a millionaire, and he would rally a group of thugs. But on the Ukrainian side, I will answer that. Who are the rallying people? Yes, they're supreme commanders like Zaluzhny. He is a rallier, and the military does support him. The commander-in-chief, Vladimir Zelensky, rallies the troops. The man went to Avdiivka last night, and the world will look at it and say, that was stupid that a president would go to Avdiivka.
It's incredible.
Let me tell you something. The man's fighting for his country, and he's having to battle the propaganda trash that comes out that says he is the opposite. He'll go to Avdiivka. He went to Bakhmut, and I would do the same if I was president, and I do it, and I'm not the president. But the guys that survived Azovstal, some of them I know, they are the heroes, and they are followed intently. The ones that lost their arms, Volin rallies the troops, and they are always putting out the love and the hope because they were the greatest example being sieged there and overcoming it. So they're major influencers to all the front lines as Azovstal guys.
Absolutely. And, just to let you know exactly how far Zelensky was from the front line. There's a front line just by the coke plant to the north of Avdiivka, and he was here, I think, somewhere.
That's exactly
there.
where he was at.
That point there, which is something like 1.8 kilometers from the front line.
That's exactly where he was at.
Well, sorry, not 1.8 kilometers from the front line, 1.8 kilometers from the Russian defensive line. So if you're
Correct.
talking from the gray zone, I mean, really, the gray zone's, you know, all around there. So he is probably just a kilometer and a half in the gray zone. So absolutely insane action from him, which was honestly, it's incredible. And
Inspirational.
something that Bunker Boy Putin would never do.
Never. But let me just tell you guys this. He's not suicidal. You know,
It's calculated. Yeah.
It's calculated. If you look at the video, I actually translated the video last night. If you want to know what he said, I have the English for it last night, about halfway through the stream. But even when President Zelensky at random times will go and make a quick statement on the front, standing by the road sign there, Avdiivka, which is the entrance to the city, and then he'll go give some awards out. Guys, he's not suicidal. He is working with the highest intelligence. They know, not 100%, but they're way up in the 90% that this is our 20-minute window. Hop out, make your statement. It is all calculated. When we're on the front, and you will see this, we work only with military to take us to the front. The volunteers who have been killed on the front lines do not work with the military. They're just humanitarians, but they have no intelligence. And I don't mean brains, I mean military intelligence. We're running with radios. We're running on off cycles of shelling. Everything is calculated. Same thing that Zelensky does. Additionally, Ukraine knows. I've had many dinners, birthday parties. I was at a birthday party with a high-ranking Ukrainian officer, and I arrived with my guy 5 minutes after Zaluzhny had left and given his gift. And I was invited to come to the birthday party. When that was happening, the air alarms went off. Of course, they knew their military guys are standing there, and they're just standing around. They go, air alarm's coming. Came in 3 minutes. They then gave some information, and the commander looked at me and goes, we have 27 minutes. We have 27 minutes. Let's finish the cake, then we'll go to safety. They know. They're not suicidal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Inside look.
Well, yet again, I attempt to finish this video. I have such a it's almost a tradition now, and an inability to end videos, because I just want to carry on talking forever. But nonetheless, look, Greg, thanks so much again. Stay on the line. Thank you so much to the viewers. I'm almost certainly going to do another live to just clear out all the other content I've got. And it's actually easier for me to do lives and several pre-recorded videos. It's just easier for me to get the stuff out there. So that's the only reason I
be honest,
do it like that.
You haven't talked enough yet.
So, oh God, John Panciotti, Mark Biscu, legends in your own underwear. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Everyone take care. Speak soon.
Bye-bye.